Hey there, everyone. Digital producer Stephanie Metzger here, still at the Meeting of the Minds in downtown Cleveland. And I've got Justin Bibb, Senior Advisor at Gallup, right here in Cleveland. So first off, let's talk about how this all kind of came to be and your role in bringing this summit right here to Cleveland.
Absolutely. So I've been a friend of Gordon Feller, the founder of Meeting of the Minds, for the last three years. And I've been hounding him to come to Cleveland for this conference. And last year they made the decision to bring it here, and it's been an exciting conference so far.
And how important was it to bring this conference to Cleveland?
I think it was important for several reasons. First and foremost, Cleveland is at a critical crossroads right now in terms of our economic future. And being able to bring so much talent from across the world in various sectors to kind of look at what's happening in Cleveland around policy and smart cities technology development, and what are some lessons we can learn from other folks from around the world, but what are some good things that we're doing in Cleveland, and to have those conversations about how we can collaborate to move our city forward.
Now, speaking of those kind of conversations, what kind of conversations have been going on in this room back here?
Well, folks are concerned about how do we create technology for all citizens, and how do we make sure that technology isn't created in silos. The other thing that's on top of mind for folks is how to create better equitable economic development. There's been a lot of great economic development in Cleveland over the last 5 years. And the big question is, how do we make sure that that renaissance that we're creating is equitable for all residents? And so those have been like two of the issues that have popped up over the last couple of days.
Now, I think I've read that you've got over from about 25 different countries globally. How does diversity having so many from different backgrounds?
I think it forces you to not look at problems through your own silo. So I'm a consultant, and consultants kind of bring one perspective to problem solving. You're in a room with technologists, scientists, economic development practitioners. You're really getting a diverse sense of different ways to solve problems and different perspectives of how we should be thinking about the future of cities in different ways. And so it's been helpful to kind of elevate the dialogue in a more nuanced way to make sure we're really solving these problems structurally to really move the needle in Cleveland and other cities across the world.
And in meeting with so many other city leaders, how do you kind of feel Cleveland compares to other major modern cities?
I think Cleveland has a lot of momentum. I think everyone recognizes that, we've been on the rise over the last 5 years. I think we have a long way to go as it relates to smart cities technology. I think we have to do a lot more as it relates to kind of economic development and having more economic development with an equity lens for all of our neighborhoods. And so I think the trend's going in the right direction, but I still think we got to roll up our sleeves and work harder to make sure that we have an inclusive city for all.
Now, how do you kind of hope to, continue some of the conversations and things you've learned in this room and to the city of Cleveland? What's next in the action plan?
So for me personally, I'm involved in an organization called Hack Cleveland. About how do we justice problems. Secondly, I work at Gallup. We have clients all across the country, so there's some lessons that I've learned at the conference that I can help bring back to mayors and chief innovation officers that I work with on a daily basis to make sure that they're making better decisions for their communities as well too.
You're learning, and obviously you just said that you've been learning so much, but I think you can also kind of teach everyone here and inspire them. So what have you been telling all of the other people here?
Well, on the topic of smart cities development, the biggest thing I've been telling folks is for far too long we've tried to make smart cities about the technology and not people, and for us to really realize the true benefits of what a smart city can be for a community, we have to think about it by leveraging citizen voice first and build smart cities from the bottom up, not the top down. And that's the one big takeaway I've been trying to tell folks over the last couple of days.
And how do you kind of bridge that divide and kind of combine technology with the voice of the citizens?
I think it's all about bringing folks together from various different backgrounds and communities and neighborhoods. And it's about doing that in an intentional way. A lot of decisions are made in back rooms and in corporate boardrooms, but not in the neighborhoods. And so coming up with strategies to kind of bring those worlds together is the only way, I think, long-term, that cities, that smart cities projects can do it in a way where all citizens can have access to those opportunities.
And finally, how else do you want to see the city of Cleveland use technology to improve and grow?
I think the thing Cleveland can do right now is to figure out how do we make sure that the working poor, the underserved, and disadvantaged populations have access to all the great opportunities and jobs that are being created in the digital economy. There are a lot of barriers that the working poor and other folks from those communities have in getting those jobs. And so we need to figure out what those barriers are, how do we remove those barriers, and how do we create pathways to economic opportunity for everybody? Because if we don't, we're going to see more economic inequality.
All right, again, this is Justin Bibb, Senior Advisor at Gallup. We're here at the Meeting of the Minds in downtown Cleveland. And for more information, head over to WKYC.com this afternoon.